What's up, witches? It's Luna here. What I want to say right off the rip today is just how much I appreciate you and appreciate my viewers that leave comments. It just really feels good to me to know that somebody's watching and thinking and appreciating, and I answer all my comments, and I just, thank you so much for just being there and engaging. And I most especially today would like to thank my viewers that, hey, come here. Thank you. My viewers that gift me. I have a gift unboxing today as soon as my frickin' OBS starts behaving. Okay, this is a gift of two things from viewer Laura in Florida. And this is the second time she's gifted me. She also sent me the Halloween Tarot. And I'll link that video at the end here. But thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. We have the Fountain Tarot, which I have only unplasticed this. I have not even taken a glance at the cards. So true unboxing here. And then she sent me, so I will read you her comments. This is the second gift, and she says, your Texas Taliban video and comment about early church fathers' views on women inspired me to send my favorite book. Its haunting message is a frightening warning for today. Please pass on, if not your cup of tea, from Laura in Florida. Well, Laura, I have started reading, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I sent her a thank you note, but I wanted to say when my husband brought this package up yesterday, I opened it up and it's like, oh, a gift. And I mean, I order enough shit that there's things that show up, but I hadn't had anything. And so he brought, it's like, oh, a prezi. And I touched this book. I read the title of it. I got goosebumps all up my arms. And then when I touched the Fountain Tarot, my entire body lit up with goosebumps. And my husband was standing over there and he said the same thing happened to him. So we shall see. But I'm loving the book. Thank you so, so much. And Confessions of a Pagan Nun, it's hilarious because I wasn't even raised Catholic, but I used to have like fantasies about being a nun and that devotional thing, which now I'm seeing as like past life memory and priestess stuff. At any rate, let's get to the unboxing. I'm going to light a candle. I didn't light my little fairy lights today, so we'll just do a candle here. And here is her note. I love the Fountain deck. Question, what do we need to know about the entities supplying funds for the Texas $10,000 bounties? From Laura in Florida. Now, I have to say that this sounds like it would be a better Lenormand reading. I am back to working with Lenormand, and I feel like things have, the concept and the images and everything have sunk into the place that I'm actually having some great success with it. So I might do a further reading on this with Lenormand, but thank you so much for including a question with your notes. So let's go. The Fountain Tarot. Look at the beautiful silver holographic. And I mean, this exquisite, and the whole box is holographic. Look at that. Look at that. Even the front, you can see it a little bit, but the back is amazing. It says, awaken the questions. You are the answer. Boy, do I like that. Illustrated deck and guidebook. This is by Roost Books. And it's a pricey one, 2017. Roost Books, which we'll see if that's like a sub of a bigger publisher. This is a $40 deck. Dang, Laura. Thank you, my love. All right. So we've got the snappy box. Hold on. You are the voice and the breath of universes. That's fascinating. And again, we had the beautiful holographic silvery writing and the pull-up ribbon. There's the book. Here's the deck, which of course, oh my God. And look inside. Look at this, you guys. It's just freaking amazing. This just has a beautiful stylized F, graphic F like this. Just absolutely beautiful in terms of packaging. So appealing. All right. And this is one of those boxes, too, that you can't, if it's not quite right, it's not going to close. So that this little thing helps it to be where it's supposed to be. Okay, so on the front card here, it says, "We hope the Fountain Tarot brings you joy, clarity, and inspiration. Love, Jonathan Saiz, creator, Jason Gruhl, writer, Andi Todaro, designer, and Roost Books, publisher." And there is fountaintarot.com. And there's @FountainTarot on Instagram. So we've got, and here's the backs. Let's get you zoomed in here. Make it all go black, and then we go da 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 da. Heh. All right. So the backs are this kind of fragmented, almost, stained, glassy, tessellated. And you know what? I'm going to do something else here. I don't know if this will let me do it. Oh, wrong thing. Yeah. There we go. This gives you a little bit better view without it flaring out. And it's a cloudy day today, but I just get so much light coming in this window. So let's take a quick look at the book. We have one language. And again, created by Jonathan Saiz, written by Jason Gruhl, designed by Andi Todaro. So I'm assuming designed means illustrated. Here's a note from the creators. Humans have always attempted to manifest their highest spiritual selves through art, writing, relationships, music, and other means. The Fountain Tarot mixes classic symbolism with contemporary art, melding the past and present to express the divine. The Fountain Tarot lives and breathes the universal and unnameable force of which everything and nothing are a part. It reflects an infinite consciousness beyond the cycles of birth and death, beginnings and endings. It is a return to the oneness of which we all sense that we are, and a removal of separateness. I like this already. Ultimately, the Fountain Tarot exists to make a difference in people's lives, in your life. We hope you find insight, beauty, and endless joy in this deck for years to come. And then we have their little signatures at the bottom. So we have a daily practice, the Fountain card. All right. The Fountain card. I'm going to read this and then we'll go on. Our interconnectedness on this planet has never been more clear. Technology has given us near limitless access to knowledge, more than we could possibly comprehend. It has illuminated the interweaving and singular consciousness that sages, witches, and shamans have embodied for thousands of years. The Fountain card is this eternal context beyond human experience in which anything and everything can happen. So we're talking about the collective unconscious here. We're talking about the abyss of pre-manifestation, all possibility. Though Tarot could not have anticipated this burgeoning connection and awareness, it now begs for its expression. The Fountain card represents this expression. Like the Fool, it exists outside of the 21 cards of the major arcana. Beyond the cycles of the earthly world, it reflects both solitary experience and timeless unity. It is the ether in which we navigate our imperfect lives and the substance of life itself. And interestingly, wow. Okay, I'm just looking at how the book is set up. All right, let's just take a quick here. So we have the major arcana, the Fool's Journey. Tells the story of the unique human path to enlightenment that each of us can discover, told through the encounters of an innocent soul, the Fool. The Fool meets 21 guides, each with a lesson and an action he must take. It is always significant when a reader or seeker encounters a card from the major arcana in a reading, and it can be helpful to view the meaning of that card in relationship to the Fool's Journey. The 3 groups of 7 cards teach mastery in particular realms. So in the physical, we have the Magician, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Chariot. So the first 7. The spiritual, we have Justice, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Strength, the Hanged Man, Death, and Temperance. And the ethereal, we have the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. Okay. I mean, that's, and then the Fountain, which shows an infinity symbol, represents reunion with and recognition of the divine. All right, and then the minor arcana. So it talks about the suits and what they represent. Then we have, well, actually, while the cards of the major arcana, trump cards, speak to large themes and archetypal characters, the cards of the minor arcana represent the day-to-day experiences of life, yes. They are the nuanced details specific to the varied and sometimes complicated situations in which we find ourselves, and they deepen our understanding of the trump cards. Though they lack the gravity of the trumps, they contribute vital information to the reading, filling out the conversation and revealing its breadth and reach. The minor arcana consists of 4 suits, wands, swords, cups, and coins. Each suit contains 14 cards, including pips, ace through 10. Okay, so this is going to be a pip deck. And court cards, page, knight, queen, and king. These cards can represent moods, patterns, states of being, people, personality traits, and other attributes, all of which help the reader and seeker to focus the reading. Then we have pip and court cards and what they mean in general. The ace is a seed, potential, beginning. The 2 is instincts, weighing choices, duality, and onward. And then we have what the suits represent each. And then we have samples and layouts, a quick draw, the 3-card spread, the 5-card spread, sample reading and interpretation. And then we go with the meanings of each. So, all right, let's dig in. And we start with the minors. So here's the Ace of Wands. Very simple. This reminds me, I have a glass wand. It's actually a quartz wand. That reminds me of. Very clear, very simple. 2 of Wands. All right, so not strictly pip cards. This looks almost like holding chopsticks. So a ball and chopsticks. Dexterity, manipulation, the ability to, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on a second here. Oh, booger snots. Sorry, I hope you can't see my frickin' armpit. No, you can't. For crying in a bucket, what's going on there? All right. Oi. Come on. There we go. Take it down a little bit, but this is better. All right. Sorry, I didn't do all my setup before I hit the go button. All right, so there we go, 2 of Wands, and now here's 3 of Wands. And I mean, the images are sparse, but dynamic, and they definitely tell me a story. So not pip cards, but also not traditional images. So we've got this man, he's got a wand, and there are 2 others. There's this dynamic quality to it. This almost looks like a rope. Coordination, planning. Interesting. The 4 of Wands, we've got 4 people kind of dancing, and these 4 of Wands sort of shooting out. So this gives an idea of celebration. It gives an idea of collaboration, cooperation. The 5. So everybody's got their own wand, and you definitely get this idea that there's a discussion going on. I'm liking this. The 6. Ooh, wow. This is much more subtle. So 6 of Wands is the victory card. I'm going to go to the book and just see how they, and I came right to it. Hope and motivation. A victory is won and balance is restored. So this person, it almost looks like someone doing the high jump, you know, that sort of pose. They certainly look like they've released and relaxed. People love their champions as symbols of hope, strength, and potential in themselves. Heroes love their adventures for the recognition and the energy to reach higher and higher. So there is that leaping higher kind of thing. Whichever role you're playing, honor and value the other. This symbiotic relationship, so that the people loving the champions and the heroes that are accomplishing things. It has the potential to move all of the parties forward, but don't get too addicted. Inevitably, we must all triumph over our own individual battles. Today, however, enjoy the parade. Meaning great news, public recognition for a victory and achievement from which to draw courage and inspiration, renewed potential, charisma and adoration, hope. And then there are reversals: excessive pride, false praise, betrayal, fear, and disloyalty. So, they're not strictly pip cards, but boy, are they stripped down to the essence. But the essence is readable in the image. Seven of Wands. Yeah, hold up. Definitely see that. The Eight of Wands, the wands flying through the air. There's so much energy in them. Look at this. The movement, the Nine of Wands. So it's almost like a pyramid, and it's like he's laying these wands as a ladder to move up, but he's still kind of, you can tell it's taking everything he's got to make it happen. Wow. And then the 10. And now he has kind of built himself a cage. Ooh, baby. All right, Page. And in the book here, they talk about Page being a child, new stages, immaturity, a Knight being teenager, movement, and loyalty. The Queen is growth, nurturing, realization. And the King is motivation, leadership, and passion. Okay, so we've got those general meanings. So there's the Page, kind of on a tightrope, starting out. Here's the Knight. The Queen. And the King. Again, dynamic, lots of movement. And now we go to the swords. Not looking a whole lot different than the wand, except for the colors. Clearly, we have swords are air. We'll go back here. Wands, fire. Swords, air. Cups, water. And coins, earth. So yes, communication, mind and thought, logic, analysis, planning. Standard. This is standard. It's the ace. There's certainly the vibe of structure here. Hold on one second. I just want to look at the Ace of Wands. So look at the difference here. We have these diagonal lines, which are more dynamic. When you talk about graphic design, horizontal lines are very restful. Zigzags, horizontals, diagonals and things are much more dynamic, look like movement. So we've got this burst of bright energy here, and with this Ace of Swords, we get this structure rising up. Very interesting interpretation. The Two of Swords, so we do have a blindfold there. Somebody trying to really navigate her way without being able to see. This, I think, is like the closest to traditional that I've seen yet. The Three of Swords. So they could not improve upon that image, and it's great. The Four, sitting back. Look at the bird. So there's this idea of peace. If we've got a bird sitting here, then things are still and peaceful. We have the Five. Oof, look at the balancing act there. Six, that goes back to the traditional as well. But these dynamic lines, wow. The Seven, mine. Look at that simple, simple, simple image that says, this is mine. The Eight. Okay, side story. Just found on Prime the original Wicker Man movie from 1972, I think it is, 72 or 3, something like that. And there's a part near the end where they have these 6 young men that are doing this dance with swords, and they do a thing where they put their arms around each other with the swords and kind of grab hold and lift up this like interlocked star thing, and it reminds me of this. And then they hold that thing up and people step into it and they put this nest of swords down over their head and then lift it back up again. You should watch that movie. Pagans went berserk for it. Okay, 9 of Swords. Yeah. I'm having, oh, okay, so it's somebody hugging their knees. You've got the hands there, and there's a little bit of a face back here, and it's like they're hugging their knees and these lines coming at them. Look at the points. Just beautiful graphic design here. And then the 10. Wow. Page. Look at him looking through it. Now we have things that actually look like swords. And the Knight. Going places. The Queen. And the King. They're telling me to look up the Queen. Hold on. Sharp Grace. Oh! So, each of these cards has... How did I miss that? Hope and motivation. I guess I said that. Each of the cards has a little phrase. Wisdom and integrity is the King. Sharp Grace is the Queen. She's seen it all, knows it all, unfortunately has suffered more than her share of sorrow. Woman with baggage. Fiercely devoted to those she loves, she will nurture ideas and conversation with crystal clarity, using reliable facts and candid, if not harsh, honesty. Careful to protect herself, she's not known for her warmth. But if it's answers you seek, she's the one to solve them. Don't waste her time or betray her. She will coolly cut you down with poise and a smile. Great wisdom distilled from joy and sorrow, power and grace, self-reliance, strict discipline, short-lived happiness, a harsh truth, guarded strength. The writing is fabulous. This book is worth its weight in gold, because the descriptions, just a couple descriptions I've read so far, are excellent and can inform the rest of your tarot reading. So there's the King. The Ace of Cups. Look at the doves. So again, we have some images that are really busting through as very traditional. Here's the 2. Look at the 2 people, the cups floating off into space. They're like, oh. The 3. Celebration. The 4. Now I want to look up every single one. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Blind delusion. Disillusion. Blind disillusion. Befriending grief. Just those little phrases are giving me a new concept of traditional cards. Laura, thank you. 6 of Cups. Joy revisited. See, I have so much respect for somebody that can just boil something down to the essence like that. The 7 is lost in choice. Yeah. The 8 is into the unknown. The 9, and I mean, I'm getting little flashes of the silver. The 9 is shared happiness. The 10 is loving balance. Look at that. So, you know, I always call it the happy family card. But this is 2 people. This is essential balance. Harmony with the people in your life. Well-earned blessings. A contented home. And now we have the Page of Cups. A waking self. So I'm going to go back here real quick to the courts and give you... Page of Wands is dramatic enthusiasm. The Knight is restless spirit. The Queen is charismatic compassion. And the King, inspiring possibilities. In the swords, they are bold curiosity, intellectual agility, sharp grace, wisdom, and integrity. So here we go. We have a waking self, not awaking. The knight is passionate idealism. And now we have bright sunlight coming in. Woohoo. The queen is motherly devotion. And the king is gentle power. Now I feel like I need to brighten this up just a little bit. Okay. Then, to the coins. Earthly abundance. Two of coins is precarious balance. I love the image. Look at the, you can see figures here. There's a person there. I see a person there. Interesting. Then we have the 3. Expertise united. Yeah. The 4 is forgotten joy. Five is precious misfortune. There are times in life when we are in great physical need and our egos get embarrassed. 2 people huddle in the cold, hungry, alone, and afraid. They sit close to refuge, but they do not receive it. As challenging as it may be, you must remember that adversity and exile are opportunities to accept your current reality, center yourself, and find strength. From a place of quiet, you can reassess what is truly important, learn what the moment is teaching you, and determine what resources are actually at your disposal. So, wow, difficulties related to living outside the mainstream. Excessive pride, because there is shelter there and they're not. Wow, incredible. 6, giving and receiving. The 7 is patient resolve. Just fabulous. The 8 is artistic pride. Wow, that's a new twist. Individual accomplishments is the 9, yes, and the 10 is true riches. Then we have practical excitement, methodical victories. Look at the queen. We have diversity. Woohoo! Generous dedication and ordered stability. Holy mackerel. All right. I'm not going to go back and read all the other suits, but just amazing. So here's the Fool, kind of navigating his way in a balancing act, sort of leaping along. Boundless innocence. I will read all of these. The rest of them you're just going to have to get the deck, and boy, I'm recommending it already, and I haven't even seen how it reads. Possibilities revealed is the Magician. Priestess is veiled wisdom. Look at her. So, okay, we do have the elements here. Look at the High Priestess. Favorite card in the deck so far. Look at her. Sitting on the crescent moon with the white, the black, the scroll. Amazing. Private and personal exploration, quiet and deep knowing, mystery, strong intuition and instinct, spiritual evolution, secrets, a woman of interest. Then we have the Empress. Bless you. Abundant creation. The Emperor is structured control. La la la. Hierophant, trusted advisor. That's a good meaning. The Lovers is choosing love. Indeed. Look at the Chariot. I love the black and white. Second favorite card. Harnessing forces. Justice is fairness. Look at the projection outward. The balance, the square, the round. I mean, it's just so essentially there. The Hermit is quiet observation. Look at the light shining. And the Wheel of Fortune is unexpected change. Now, see, I differ with this one because Wheel of Fortune to me is expected change. It's organic, seasonal, cyclical, natural change, so which everything moves in cycles. So that's an interesting new twist on that for me. Strength, ooh. Passion tamed. Perfect. The Hanged Man, surrender to self. Yes. Look, he's got an anti-gravity junk. I'm such an adolescent. Death is a significant end. That, again, stark black and white is beautiful. Temperance is listening within. Okay. Harmony, peaceful melding of opposites. Okay. The Devil is bondage to indulgence. Ooh, that's perfect. And the Tower, the inessential destroyed. Ah. I can't add anything to it. Look at the colors of the numbers up there. That's interesting. Not sure that means anything. The Star, all is well. The Moon, surrender to darkness. Oh. The Sun, absolute joy, judgment, reconciliation. Oh, that's interesting. The World, a cycle complete. And then the Fountain says be. Oneness, a moment of cosmic clarity, fully awake, the end of seeking, enlightened being, surrender to that which you are, whole and perfect. And so, okay, that's interesting. So we did the majors and minors, and then the minors come after the majors, but okay, just the way it was packaged is weird. All right. Now, oh. Let's get a charcoal lit. And zoom you back out now that we've got shit tons of sunshine showing on everything. Okay. We're back. Now, let's take a look at how we shuffle. It's a chunky deck, not gonna lie. Here we go. Oh. All right, kind of interesting. Yeah, they are a little thick. They are just a bit thick. You can see, I mean, when you can see the silver on the edge of a single card, you know they're pretty thick. And maybe you need that kind of thing in order to get... let's try Marianne's Shuffle from Revealing Light Tarot. Kinda works. Still sort of chunky. Let's try splitting the deck. That's much easier. Yep, split the deck, no problem. So let's just continue. Then we'll do it this way. Thanks for hanging with me through the boring shuffling parts. You know, I hope that when you watch these videos you have like a cup of tea or something and let things go for a few minutes. Come into the Zen zone and slow down. Okay, yeah, they're hard. They're just hard to do when the deck's all together. All right, now, the question Laura asked is, what do we need to know about the entity that is supplying funds for Texas. All right, I think, well, we've got two here. Page of Swords and Temperance have come shooting out. Let's look at what those have to say to us. To begin with, Temperance. Listening within. We often look at options from an either-or perspective. But Temperance invites us to consider that all things are possible, even when they appear to be at odds. This is beautiful writing. Life is not static, and neither are our needs. They vary across a lifetime and across each situation. Through listening and awareness, the universe reveals what your soul truly needs, not just what your ego wants. It's not as complicated as you make it. If you can put your perceptions and impatience aside, you create space for alchemy. The meaning is quiet awareness, patience, inner listening, harmony between physical and spiritual, conscious moderation, a peaceful melding of opposites, the middle way. And then Page of Swords says, Page of Swords this is bold curiosity. The Page of Swords is one of those youths who's almost too smart for his own good. Some whisper the word prodigy. Like a blur of information, he wants to know everything now. Others, less insightful than him, would be annoying, but he learns quickly and shares it all, logically, thoughtfully, and freshly. Though he's just beginning to find his own truth in the world, his vision is dead on. He's got something to say, and he's ready to say it, full of insight and confidence. A mental risk-taker, curiosity, strong insight, skill at uncovering what's concealed, eager confidence, intellectual innovation, important or unexpected news. Okay, so he tells me that it's possible to know, skill at uncovering what's concealed. This is a challenge. I'm taking this as a challenge. And Temperance, though, says patience. All right. Mental risk taker, strong insight, important or unexpected news. So that's telling me that we'll possibly be getting some news on this soon. All right. Let's go with these and see what we have here. The Fountain, the Hierophant, 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Ooh, goodness. All right. And, you know, I should have kind of gone with a reading that's in the book, but when they start flying out of the deck, you just shut up and listen. All right. The Fountain comes out first. This is oneness, unity, talking about B. And the Hierophant is trusted advisor, a giver of wisdom. All right. Peace and assurance, keeper of traditions, a pillar in the community, compassion, guidance, and a search for the truth. All right, so, and then let's look at the Fountain again at the end. A moment of cosmic clarity, fully awake, the end of seeking, enlightened being, surrender to that which you are, whole and perfect. To observe, master less, and just be effortless and distinguishable from life. You're the voice and breath of the universe. That is so very spiritual and huge that I can't bring it down into a practical kind of mundane interpretation. It's the waking from the dream of separateness and identity, and a trusted advisor here. So, I mean, the Hierophant is saying that this can be linked to someone. I'm thinking someone in government or someone connected to government, like an attorney, someone that's been advising in a different capacity. This is not going to be easy. I think I'm going to do this question again with Lenormand. All right, loving balance is 10 of Cups. Harmony with the people in your life, well-earned blessings, abundant joy in relationships, a wise and cultivated life. Empathy, emotional maturity, and this is shared happiness, contentment, emotional satisfaction, a wish fulfilled, pervasive wellness, good karma. All right. Let me just, Laura, I'm doing a personal reading for you here, okay? So we're talking about listening within and gaining really deep insights into yourself here. We're certainly in, I mean, as a personal reading here, it looks like you are very integrated within yourself, have the ability to listen deeply and come up. So here's the question I have for you. What do you think? What are your impressions about the question you asked? Because this is telling me you have very deep insight into things, and that you also can be a trusted advisor. You can be a trusted advisor. Do you read for other people, Laura? You should. You really should. The 9 and 10 of Cups, of course, just talking about joy, finding balance, finding joy in balance, and then being able to share that joy, being able to share your deep insights, listening within, and being a trusted advisor here. So and now I can kind of look into the question again, and I'm seeing here that this is someone who is a trusted advisor, and the advice being given has been, it's going to be great. I mean, there's been lots and lots of promises coming from the entity that is setting up this fund. Lots of promises. I mean, what are the promises here? Because they're shelling out money. The promises would be you're going to get your way. This is going to grant your wish. This is going to get you reelected. This is going to make you, into a loved person. Temperance. I'm kind of stuck on temperance there, talking about sort of a blending of things. And, I'm thinking this isn't one, but there's one person standing out to me. There's one person that's obviously at the head of this, but then there's been like a blending of a couple factions that perhaps it's, people from this political group and this political group kind of blended together. Okay, not sure about that. I'm going to ask again. I'm going to shuffle again and ask again. Actually, I'm going to pick cards. I'm going to do a spread and pick. Okay? So the question that we have is, what do we need to know? What can we know about the entity that is fronting the money for the bounty on women in Texas? What can we know about this entity? All right. I'm going to do a spread and pull still, whether those fell off or not. It's just the matter of it being a big, thick, chunky deck. All right, I'm going to spread and pick, so I don't really need to do much shuffling. What do we need to know? What can we know about this entity? They spread in chunks. I'm going to have to hit them with fanning powder. But that's okay. I can work around that. You just kind of smack them a little bit. Now, let's look in the book and see which reading we're going to use. The quick draw is 1 to 2 cards. And there's example questions, the 3-card spread. Situational is past, present, future. Personal, relational, person, 3-person reading. Let's go with the 5 card. The question, the context, you, your community, the potential outcome. All right, let's do the 5 card. So the first thing is just outlining the question. Coming over here. I want this one. The second one is the context. What led up to now? Three is you, your role in the situation. Maybe that can be the role of the Texas Republicans in this situation, and they're leading me right here. Community, who else plays a role? And the potential outcome. Way over, they said. Way over. All right. So, 1 goes up here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're crooked. Sorry, I'll fix them for you. Okay, so number 1, the question, what's really being asked, clarifies the question, focuses the inquiry more specifically. And this is the 5 of Cups here. So this could be almost like a situation. Befriending grief. Okay. So why are we asking, and what really is the question is, tell us, this is a big grief. The loss is real and irretrievable. This is the grief at losing rights. And to move beyond it, he must feel the sorrow fully and candidly. So significant but only partial loss. Despair, regret, flaws, or imperfections, a possible end to a relationship. So it's a partial loss. Roe v. Wade still stands. There's despair, there's regrets. It's certainly flawed. And a possible end to a relationship. What relationship might that be? The relationship between Texas and the United States of America. Would that it were. So this outlines the question. We're talking about our grief. Tell us what we need to know, but we need to know about specifically the company. This is why I feel Lenormand is going to be a lot better. So the next question is, or the next category, is the context. What led up to now? Death. Seriously. A significant end. What led up to now? Yes, a significant end. I'm thinking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm thinking about, just the whole framing of the question of abortion as people, that we're killing people. And any woman who's had like a period that was 2 weeks late, and then you have a particularly rough one, that was a miscarriage. That was just too early. It couldn't even implant, whatever, A zygote is not a person. It's just not. Especially at 6 weeks. Most places will not even do an abortion until 8 weeks because it is so small that it's nearly impossible to tell whether they got the pregnancy by looking at the contents of the abortion. And that is a fact. Okay. A foreseen ending, an invitation to transform, a time for mourning, loss, acceptance as a means to release, embracing the inevitable. So this one again is context. What led up to now? A foreseen ending. Absolutely. We knew it was coming. We knew this whole thing was coming. All right, let's go to the next one. Your role in the situation. And that is the 8 of Cups. Into the unknown. A search for new paths, a rejection of the material for the spiritual, disappointment, humility, walking away, fortitude, embracing the unknown. All right. And this is you. Okay, so our role in this, yes, we're grieving. We're looking for new ways around these things. We've had people reaching out and offering, I'm telling everyone that has access to Amazon to get in there and buy as many morning after kits as you can afford. Have them on hand if you're a fertile young woman. And you know what? I never invited everybody in. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. Thank you for being attached to this deck. And let's give you some Fire of Azrael retroactively. Thank you. Please and thank you. I'm getting very wrapped up in this deck. Okay, and I feel like I've been doing here for an hour and a half. This feels like a long reading, and it's no longer than my normal. All right, this says, be confident that nothing of importance has been lost. The path forward is unclear, but to find the deeper satisfaction you crave, you must be certain of your decision, venturing through the haze of the foreign and the unknown. So we haven't lost Roe v. Wade yet. You know, the laws are clearly unconstitutional. But where we are is searching for a way through it. And we're going into the unknown with it because we don't know what the outcome's going to be with this conservative court. We've already seen they've refused to look at the unconstitutionality of the law. They refuse to do their job. That's a big scary. For your community, who else plays a role? A quiet space. Time to quiet the mind, respite from difficulty, recuperation, engaged listening, release gratitude, or return to your center. Who else plays the role? Plays a role. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could see this as the Supreme Court sitting on their asses and not doing anything, taking a respite, taking a mental break. And then Knight of Cups. Passionate idealism in this last category is the outcome. Pretty sure. Yep, potential outcome. All right, or you could talk about an action needed. Passionate idealism. Idealism particularly around love and romance, unwitting self-indulgence, passionate but immature conviction, intuition and impending opportunity, and invitation moodiness. I don't know. See, I don't think this is the instrument to answer that question, my dear. At least not through this reader's brain. I'm having a rough time sort of smushing the card meanings into that meaning. If I go away from the book, I'm still not really getting there. I mean, we've got 3 cups down the center. We're definitely having an emotional reaction to this. And this is why this whole problem is set up, is to evoke that knee-jerk emotional reaction in people, which makes them forget about every other issue when they're voting. These are the one-issue voters that keep putting these people in power. But whether we don't really have an insight into the company that's offering this money, I don't think. Not that I can see without giving myself a headache here. So I apologize for not being able to answer that question, but I do love the question. And if I just look at this here, for you, again, personally, Laura, the question is about grief, dealing with your own grief, processing your own grief over possibly a real death or something that has ended in your past. You are walking away from old things that no longer serve you. You're walking away from situations where your emotional energy is wasted. And then it's time to take a little bit of a break, to take a rest and a respite. Rest your mind, resting your mind over, wrestling with all these issues. And then the potential outcome here is you refill that well and have something to offer. You have emotional energy to offer. So I would just say that it's really time to take care of yourself emotionally, take a break from, wrangling with all of these issues and the stress that brings, so that you can then have more to offer, because you do have a lot to offer, dear. And the cups that came up in both of these readings, I wonder if you're a water sign, first of all, but talking about your intuition, your empathy, your ability to offer that to other people. But you need to take a break. You definitely need to take a break. All right, so again, I apologize. I couldn't clearly answer that question, but the question stays with me. I will address it with another instrument. However, thank you. You're so generous, incredibly generous gift. So you are now in my document with my, and I love documenting these things, because anytime I get a deck and it's a gift, first of all, your little, your note will go into the box, so I remember it's a gift deck every time I pull it out and look at it. It is a beautiful addition to the collection. I will be studying with this and reading its meanings because they're fabulous. So again, thanks. And for all the rest of you, thanks for hanging out with me for this long. Hit that like button on your way out, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that. There is a wish list down below if you want to do the same thing that Laura did and gift me and get a reading. Hit that wish list. There's also a couple of links to donate if you feel so moved. I thank you for everything. Nothing is too small. And with such a generous gift, I bless you for that. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. I will see you next time. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.